This is the Two Scrappy Chicks podcast where life is messy, the stories are real, and we dare to talk about it anyway.
Hey, welcome back. I am going to finally do Married at First Sight because I'm awake. It's 8:42 Central Time. I've had a busy weekend. Let's see. I have been pet sitting since Thursday. So yeah, pet sitting and, cleaning houses. And then Friday, what did I do Friday? Yeah, Friday I had to, you know, in the morning, go take care of the dogs, work, go take care of the dogs, come home. Saturday, I had to get up early to go take care of the dogs, get ready, and then drive up north. And it was raining, so it took me a while. I go all the way from my town. I live in a small town, not too far from Joliet, and I drive up north all the way to Arlington Heights to get my hair done. And it's worth it because it is my one of my besties. I have several besties. I have a core circle. Known her since junior high, and she does an amazing job on my hair. She saved my hair. My hair back in, let's see, when did she start doing it? I want to say it was it, I'm pretty sure it was like November of 2017. So yeah, 9 years. And my hair was freaking straw. It was straw. It was short. It was blonde. It was bleached. And I'm surprised I still had hair. It was so bad. It was breaking and whatnot. It was baby steps. Excuse me, baby steps. I had to let my hair grow out and I want to say we let it grow out, but did we dye it darker? I think we did. I'll have to get her on the podcast and talk about it, see if she remembers. But yeah, um, it is so worth it to go up there. Hate the traffic, hate the rain, but it was worth it. And then I had to go let out the dogs again, come home, eat dinner, and stop yawning. And then T and I watched a movie on Prime, Solo Mio with Kevin James. It was really cute. I really liked it. So that's why the recording didn't get done because by the time we're done, I was like, I'm tired. I can't record. So I'm doing it now on a Sunday night. So when you hear this, it will be Monday. All right. So here we go. 3 episodes. And I presume it's 3 episodes again Thursday. All right. So we have Adam and Marissa, and he's making her a grilled cheese with tomato soup. How cute. And he claims he's always wanted to be married since he was 18. And then they have like this cutesy banter going back and forth. Um, they, along with the others, will be having dinner with the other couples. And Tori is working through her anxiety after being intimate with Felipe. Mecca and Beljolie, he is being more affectionate. And he has noticed she pulled back, which she said she would, but she didn't say that to Mecca. Nick and Courtney are talking about past relationships. She got cheated on, and she wanted to be more physical with Nick. And um, when they're having this dinner, I forgot to mention the experts are watching them interact, and they don't know. And I don't know if they're told later, because I certainly didn't see that they were told so far. And when Adam comes in, he's wearing the very loud outfit, like it's very colorful with a hat. And he has a tag on. So is he doing like mini pearl or something with the tag? And the experts think he does it to take control. Like, draw attention to himself. Uh, uh opposed to opposed to what is he really about, or asking someone else, what are you all about? All right. Caitlin and Devin, seems like they're doing better. When Nick and Courtney come in, they're holding hands, so that's good. Nikki comes in alone. Sean had a work thing and will be there later. The experts think they had an argument. Then, I had to turn the page. I guess Sean and Nikki had a double date the night before with Mecca and Jolie. And then Sean comes and he greets the guys in that, but not Nikki. So of course the expert noticed that. So they're all sitting down. Tori leads in prayer. Um, and Adam and Marissa, they're vibing. Um, and I hate when they do this when they go back and forth. They show them at the table and then they show them outside doing like a interview, like after the dinner. And Courtney says that Adam is the hottest of the guys. And she says that right with Nick next to her. And then she's like, oops. And Nick's, oh, I'm sure that really boosted his ego. Courtney said she is not a lover or affectionate person. And that and she's saying this at the table to everybody, that the first night, the honeymoon night, she laid in bed like a lump of logs. And experts, are watching her and they said it seems like her body language is saying she doesn't want Nick. Felipe asked Nick, how does it feel about getting rejected by your wife? And of course, when he's saying that, Adam and Marissa are laughing. And Courtney's like, why are you guys laughing? And um, I don't, it doesn't seem like Nick even got to answer it. And Courtney, Adam and Felipe disagree with Courtney is doing with Nick. Said, Nick does finally say something. Here we go. He doesn't feel rejected. He said he sees the small things that she does. He sees potential. Courtney keeps saying she's a slow burn. It's a time thing. And Nick said they're moving in the right direction. Courtney said he lacks confidence. And then pretty much says all the men are lacking confidence. So that was very controversial. Marissa said men aren't vulnerable enough. Mecca says she has unbroken a side to him, meaning his Belgely. And um, Belgely said physical touch, him not so much. And then they talked about the percentage thing, and that Belle said Mecca friend zoned her, and that they're trying to get on the same level. Um, Michelle and Cameron are doing well. Cameron says she's authentic, and you could see that she's smitten. Nikki says to Sean she doesn't know what to say without embarrassing him. Devin and Caitlin, he admitted and that he was, um, you know, too aggressive, and he recognizes that Caitlin has her guard down, or guard up. And really, how come I don't remember this? Devin says she has been annoying. Interesting. I don't know why I don't remember that. Felipe, um, Tori is um slow to commit. Tori is angry, is committed. I'm sorry about my frickin' writing. I had my readers on and I wrote in red pen. Maybe that was a mistake. All right, so Tori wants to slow it down and she feels like she self-sabotages. Um, let's see. Oh, Nikki and Sean said they learned so much, but they've had a challenging couple of days. Nikki gets into her head. Sean called her anxious, which Nikki, didn't appreciate. Mecca asks if Nikki is um, taking accountability, and it says, with conflict, they can't communicate effectively. Devin, they said they both have their walls up, both have egos, both have both think they're right. And Devin's saying this about Nikki and Sean, and then Sean goes on his phone. That didn't go over well with Nikki. And this is episode 7. Um, so it seems like they are in they're stuck in a pattern and they can't seem to get out of it. Um, Nikki is 5'5" and she made a comment that she towers over Sean, and then the guys came for her that she said that. They're like, the height comment is disrespectful. Um, and Adam asked, have you guys considered calling it? And Sean said, I am a committed man and that he's going to give what the experts, you know, say he needs to do. Nick and Courtney chat on the way home about the confidence thing. Nikki and Sean outside, she said he made her look bad and presented her in a wrong way. Sean said, I won't fight with you. I promise to trust you. And that Nikki said she doesn't have the capacity to help him, meaning Sean. And then and then Sean says, why don't you quit? And she walks off. Um, and then she leaves. They get to the apartment and she leaves the apartment for the night that they were sharing. So that was episode 7. And we're at 13 minutes. Okay. Next episode 8. It's 5 more weeks till decision day. Devin and Caitlin are on a paddleboard and then they debrief during dinner and they make strides and they had, I think it's Devin's dog, very cute dog. Tori and Felipe have his mom and dad over. Felipe is fearing passion will run out, and Felipe and his dad have a talk, and then Tori and his mom have a talk. Courtney and Nick, this was funny. Apparently I can't talk. Courtney doesn't watch a lot of movies, and Nick was asking her, was talking about a movie and said, Keanu Reeves. She's like, who? I'm like, really? And she said, I don't watch a lot of movies. So I was just like, wow. I didn't know that existed. Somebody that doesn't watch a lot of movies who didn't know Keanu Reeves. Who could not know Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves started out with Bill and Ted, and he did other couple crazy movies, but he's really known his Matrix movies, his John Wick movies. He's Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4 and 5. He just did a movie on Apple. I can't remember the name. Oh, and he did do another Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and then they did another one as adults. So yeah, how can you not know Keanu Reeves? Courtney needs to watch movies. So, Nick is unclear of his feelings. They change daily. Her comments question everything, and Courtney's fear of someone leaving or ruffling feathers. And I guess it happened to her 3 years ago in her last relationship. And um, she's never been in a super loving relationship. And she will shut down when things get weird. And Nick asked for a partner to challenge him. So I don't know if he's feeling that it is Courtney. So Nikki, um, let's see. It's I wrote saying, um, oh, Nikki is seeing Paul the expert. And Sean is joining too. Nikki is pissed, and she said he is here to win and look good. And it's like this whole situation, this experiment is bringing out the worst in them. And he asked Nikki and Sean to rate where they are. Nikki said 2, Sean said 7.5. And so he encourages them to put in the work and be better. Nikki said she doesn't feel valued. Sean says he will um relinquish power. And Sean said he was the youngest child and unheard, and there's a sense of him that feels like when I don't get in 50% of the words in, I don't feel like I'm been given a chance to express my voice. Oh, I could so relate to that, being the youngest in my family and, the issues that I have with the estrangement. Um, okay. So, um, the expert did say something about that. Like he didn't like that Sean said that about communicating. And I was just like, well, what's wrong with that? Because that's how I feel too. You know? I was like, to be seen or ignored and not heard. So we will see what happens with Nikki and Sean. Nikki feels Nikki felt Nikki felt more seen in this conversation. She felt more seen and heard, and she doesn't feel there is a safety or a plan with Sean. And then the expert talks about 3 things: closeness, power, respect. And Sean called it CPR. Um, and the expert said it is the route to fix things quicker. So he said he wants Nikki and Sean to rate the relationship every day. Now we're back to Michelle and Cameron, and they're at a painting place. Um, Michelle said she liked Bob Ross, and Cameron said he's into geography. And Michelle said she loved math. She was a nerd. And somehow brought up she wanted when she was being set up with another person, she had a income requirement of 150K. And Cameron says, I don't make that, but I am moving up in the coaching world. And then they both agree Seattle was expensive because Cameron is living in Oregon and he'll be leaving soon to his coaching job. And they had a discussion about, the gender roles and stuff, and that whole, 150, K thing kind of felt him feel, emasculated. So, she said it doesn't bother her as he is the protector. So I still feel they have a good chance. Mecca and Beljulie with Dr. Paz. Mecca has said his attraction has increased and he feels like he has sexual anxiety. And then Marissa takes Adam to her apartment. Very opposite of Adam's. It's very clean and organized. And um, I think it kind of concerns her the way he lives and the way she lives because, she's so clean. And it's funny. Um, she said he lives in a playground. So then she had set up little easels and she said, this is a fun thing to do. Couples paint each other, their portrait. She painted his. It was good. He painted hers. He did her dirty. It was awful. So then they kind of discussed plans like let's live in the lake house for a year. And they realized they need to have more serious conversation about, what they're going to do. All right, Nikki and Sean are having a nice dinner at home, nice conversation. Courtney and Nick are at the gym. Tori and Felipe are in bed talking video games because I guess Felipe likes to play video games. Courtney brought Devin with because she teaches a spinning class and he enjoyed it. And he went to lunch with her friends. And it was funny, they commented on his hair, but they said he's really nice, he's attractive. Um, Michelle and Cameron were talking about Cameron going back to work. Or no, Michelle goes back to work the next day. And then when Cameron goes back to work, he's going to Oregon. So they'll be kind of far away, and it seems like they're going to struggle with it, but they'll adjust because they've been with each other for 24/7. Mecca and Belle talked about how many kids they want. Belle wants 4, Mecca wants 2, and they were in bed while they're discussing this, and then you hear Mecca say, uh, I don't have a robe on anymore. Courtney and Nick are in the car. They're going to go see her family. And she told Nick to have thick skin and asked him if he would um, ever live in Oregon. And Nick said no. And Courtney would like to eventually live in Oregon, especially if she has kids down the road. She'd like to have her family close. Um, like she really doesn't like Oregon, but it's more important to her to have family close. And um, I think she said, is that a deal breaker? And I don't think Nick answered her. Um, so they get to the house and they don't hold hands. And then Nick talks to Brooke, her sister. Um, actually, I'm sorry. Courtney talks to her sister Brooke. Yes, and asks her to grill Nick. Deep dive. Because if her family won't like them, then she won't like them. So, the family grills him. Nick goes to, oh, the family grills him, right? during the conversation. Nick gets up to go to the bathroom, and Courtney's like, well, what do you think? Well, they like him. And no one is seeing red flags and asking her, are you self-sabotaging? So next, um, back to court that she realized she nitpicks and she needs the expert's help. So that was the end of 8. Now we're on the last episode, number 9. And it says 4 weeks till decision day. Mecca took Belle Jolie with him to work. His company, it's a family business of porta potties. So she helps him, and she was first squeamish about it, but then she was really getting into it, and she was getting into watching him. I think she said she was turned on watching him. So they go and see Mecca's grandma. She is part of the business, so that went well. Adam and Marissa, I think this is where it starts, where we go to group therapy, and it's pretty much group therapy then with the group. Um, all right. Nikki and Sean actually arrive arm in arm, and then Tori and Felipe. Adam comes and his shirt's unbuttoned. Come on, button your shirt. Courtney and Nick come in holding hands. Um, so back to Marissa and Adam. His attire. Um, he was called on it. When you came in, it was unbuttoned, and then you buttoned up your shirt. They're like, "What the hell's up with that?" Um, and I feel like he's deflecting and deflecting from um having a deep conversation. Like, him and Marissa have not had any deep conversations and don't have a strong relationship yet, but um like, Marissa has not talked about her dad leaving, and that um and then I wrote Adam's maturity level. Like I said, I got my readers on, but sometimes I can't read my writing. It's a lot of writing when you're watching these shows. So then Cameron and Michelle, they are doing really good, exceeded expectations. They have deep conversations. And Cameron did say that the finances conversation was awkward. And he announced they had sex. Um, Courtney and Nick, um, feeling a bit, of being safe, but need more time. Um, Courtney didn't have the best experiences in relationship, and the expert asked, "What are your fears? Afraid of being judged, goofy, open, and try harder." And then um, I'm trying to remember what this was about. 5 boxes, no one reaches. 6 box, all of them. I'm trying to think if that was Nick, and he has 5 boxes of requirements. I don't know. Tori and Felipe are progressing. On paper, they look good. Felipe is afraid of self-sabotaging, and Felipe reframe. What is he refraining from? the passion, like he said to his dad, is that gonna, go away? Um, and they asked Tori, do you feel safer or not? And I believe she said she does. Mecca and Belle, um, green light more. Connected. Mecca said, um, he feel, or no, Belle feels Mecca has never chosen Belle. Not chosen her yet. She's waiting, and supposedly he self-sabotage. And um, Belle said she had an erratic upbringing. So, like I said, they need work. Nikki and Sean, the shift is good. The rate was, I can't believe I wrote this. Am I right? 10 and 10. They're like, what did you do? They did the three roots of conflict, and that's when Sean um, repeated the closeness, power, respect, and how to handle an argument. Michelle and Cameron don't think they will make it. Not them. They don't think Sean and Nikki will make it. Devin um, thinks that the light. I'm trying to think if they're still talking about Sean and Nikki. I should have wrote this. But light been dim. Love bomb pushed her away. Devin is still committed. Uh, and then a mess. I said I can't understand sometimes when I write stuff because I'll just like abbreviate stuff in that. Okay. So we'll just skip over that. But the last of it was they were asked if today was decision day, what would you say? Dave, not Dave, um, Devin. Devin and Caitlin, both undecided. Nikki and Sean, both undecided. Michelle and Cameron, yes. Nikki, or I'm sorry, Nick and Courtney, undecided. Mecca and Beljulie, undecided. Tori and Felipe both said yes. Adam and Marissa both said yes. So that is where that ends. And a little preview I seen for next time. Felipe's talking about loving to sleep with a bunch of women, and then you see Nikki doing an interview saying what? So yeah, I feel like uh Felipe's a little pimp, you know? Like he's got a different woman each day or something, you know? Like he's a little man whore, right? So kind of reminds me of Deuce Bigelow, the whole man whore and the mangina and stuff. So, all right, now I'm just getting silly. All right, next time Married at First Sight is on is Thursday, and I believe it's another 3 episodes. Yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. I was looking up something. Sorry, I'm answering a text. Um, okay, hold on. 1 second. There's going to be a little. I'm going to. Why can't? There we go. Hold on. Okay, looks like there's 3 episodes again. Episodes 10, 11, and 12 on Thursday. Um, and after 3 a.m. midnight is when they drop, so you don't have to wait to watch. So, it should be good. Um, because let me look at my calendar. So, if let's see, 1, 2, 3, the I guess the decision day will be the week of the 20th, and then they do a reunion on the 27th to see who's all together. And I didn't look to see when was this filmed. Um, but yeah, like I said, I think it's crazy when they do these reality shows and they have to wait a freaking year or so, and they can't like post stuff on their Instagram or Facebook. But I mean, what about in public? So yeah, I think reality shows need to stop doing that. Be more close to real time. All right, well that's it. I'm so tired. All right. Till next time. Bye. We really appreciate you hanging out with the two scrappy chicks today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, download, and share it with a friend. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, just let us know.